And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
What's on your mind, Cayman? If you're ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Discussing current events and local news, community spotlights, hot topics, listener stories, cultural and historical discussions, environmental issues, fun and lighthearted topics, guest interviews. Cayman, basically anything you want to talk about, we are ready to listen. Here's your guest host, Charles Glidden.
Coming up next, we got an update on the elderly care course at UCCI. And later in the show, it's your turn when we open the phone lines to talk about what's on your mind, Cayman. Talk Today's next. Stay with me.
Talk Today is reminding you
to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
And now, back to Talk Today.
Good afternoon and welcome to Talk Today. I'm Charles Glidden. Glad you could tune in. We're getting another spell of winter weather here in Cayman, cooling things off. It actually was very chilly last night if you were standing in the wind especially. I stepped outside and the wind was blowing. Hey, it's like cold out here, right? But I wonder if we're going to get any more after this. Is this our last hooray for, winter in Cayman? Or I don't know, they've been having a lot of winter storms up north there in the U.S. and maybe we'll get another little norther coming down, giving us some cool air. I think it was it last week when we were talking about Frankie Flowers' new film, The Bluff, and one of our frequent callers, Mickey, called and he was talking about other film endeavors that happened years ago in Cayman, right? And I mentioned the Cayman Triangle, which I had never seen, right? But, you always heard about the Cayman Triangle. And this morning I was, fooling around, surfing around on the internet, which my wife calls wasting time. So I was wasting some time on the internet. I was on Facebook, and I ran into this link to the Cayman Triangle on YouTube. So, of course, I just had to follow that link. And it took me to the Cayman Triangle. Looks like the full-length film right there on YouTube. So I took, a look at the beginning of it, and it had some really funny moments in it. I didn't realize it was a comedy, but yeah, I got a few laughs out of it. And the Delworth Superstation scene with good old, he was young then, a very young Andy Martin. That was a gem. It was like a music video, Andy Martin singing. He had a dance crew with him, and right there at Delworth's gas station. And I couldn't waste any more time, so I couldn't watch any more of it. And but I'm going to watch it. I could probably maybe watch that tonight. Yes, I was researching. But yeah, if you wanted to see it, just go on YouTube and search for Cayman Triangle. You'll find it. So it bound to give you a laugh. It looked like a real scream, especially if you had a drink or two, while you're watching it. But it looked like good fun, yeah. Well, let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll hear about the elder care course that is available at the University College.
Hey, new drivers, don't just drive, drive smart. Cynical and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cynical motor insurance. Learn more and register at cynical.ky. Cynical, keeping Cayman covered.
Radio Cayman Super Jam Show, the #1 drive time entertainment show on your radio.
Brought to you by these kind sponsors.
The Cayman Islands Football Association, CIFA, building a better future for Cayman football.
Cayman Insurance Center.
Don't take chances with your family's future or your valuable assets. Call me today, Michael Webster, at 925-5433.
UWI Open Campus, on-site, online, and on demand.
Visit open.uwi.edu. Call them today at 946-8322.
And Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga wholesalers. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola.
The #1 drive time entertainment show on your radio.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. Cayman's population is not only growing rapidly, it's aging also. And with that, there is a need for trained caregivers to assist and care for our elderly. That training is available right here in Cayman at the University College of the Cayman Islands. And joining me now to tell us all about the Elderly Care Health Aid course at UCCI is Josine Brown. She is a lecturer at the Ruth Eleanor McLaughlin School of Nursing at UCCI. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So this is under the School of Nursing.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So that means that this takes a very kind of medical approach to caregiving. It's not just being nice and a kind person.
Yes, it means that you are certified and able to take care of the elderly. So you receive the proper training. So I know some persons will just, are helpers and just go in the field to work. But this course offers you the techniques, not only theory, but the practical skills to offer safe, efficient care.
So is this sort of a new in-demand vocation, employment?
Well, I wouldn't say new, but it's still...
Maybe for Cayman.
Probably for Cayman. What we're realizing globally and also in the Cayman Islands that the elderly population is growing. The United Nations says that it will grow by 11% in 2030. Right now, we are at 9% of the elderly population. So I'm sure there's growth and there will work for persons to take care of the elderly. So this course offers that.
Mm-hmm. And it seems like people are living much longer these days.
They are. With technology, with advanced medicine, yes, persons are living much longer.
So who would be eligible to enter this course?
So anyone who's taking care of the elderly, family members, volunteers, anyone who wants to be trained in the efficient skills and the practical ways in taking care of the elderly, they are welcome to do it. Or if you just want to open probably an agency that takes care of the elderly, you're welcome to do the course as well.
Is that happening in Cayman, where you have agencies?
Yes, there are lots of agencies who employ caregivers.
Mm-hmm. So tell us how when people register for this, what would they expect to go through?
All right, so it's a 15-week course. So the 15 weeks covers theory, which is roughly 12 weeks, and then 3 weeks of practicum. So the course is offered twice per week, Monday, Tuesday, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. And then after the theory aspect, they will go into our facilities, which we have partnered with Health Services Authority, Jasmine, and also Department of Children and Family Services, where they will go out and receive practical skills on site.
So that's a sort of internship, you might say?
You can call it internship, but we just say enhancing your clinical skills, so we call it practicum.
Well, let's go through some of the things here that the student would be doing as far as, I see, hands-on skills, monitoring and vital signs. What is involved in that?
So when we're talking about vital signs, we're talking about temperature, blood pressure, pulse, respirations. These are indicators of if something is happening with an individual. And it can be that they're well as well. So there are good indicators for persons to learn about. And I'm sure with the rise in blood pressures, high blood pressures, and the rise in blood glucose levels here in our islands, I'm sure with these skills, the students will be able to monitor. So they will also know when the results are high, when they're low, and also when they're normal. So it's important for them to know.
So would they be keeping sort of charts on these things as they check?
Yes. So they will also be learning in our program how to document these findings and also when to report it to a supervisor or when to report it to the doctor.
And mobilizing patients safely.
Yes.
Well, what's involved?
So that's involving transferring your patients. So whether you're getting them from the bed to the chair, to the wheelchair, to even just ambulating them, walking from one point to the next, how to prevent falls, how to operate devices such as a hoist, which lifts patients who are unable to weight bear, or it can be how to safely maneuver a wheelchair, and the list goes on.
And then they, of course, have first aid training.
Yes. So in our program, the final class will be a first aid training, which will partner again with Health Services Authority to ensure that these students receive certification in first aid. First aid also some aspect of CPR as well.
So if in case someone has a heart attack or something, that
yes,
they don't know
in case there's an emergency, they know how to respond.
Okay. So, I mean, you said anyone can join this, but does it take I mentioned kindness and you being nice. I'm sure that's part of the personality that you want in a caregiver. But is there something special about this that, a certain kind of person that is more suitable for this?
Well, I would say you're going to have a mixture when you're taking care of individuals. But as you rightly said, we want persons who have that caring element to them, who are able to nurture, who are able to not only take care of the elderly, but communicate with them. Most of them are lonely, and all they want is someone to sit and communicate with them. So not only do we want somebody who's able to go through the training, but somebody who really loves the elderly at heart.
What about mental health?
So some elements, we have one course or one session, that will just introduce them to mental health, but that's not our focus. Our focus is on elderly. So we'll touch a little bit of it in one of the sessions, but it's not a mental health course.
But I mean, so what? This is not gearing people to deal with people who have dementia, as such.
So we will cover dementia. So it's all. Remember, not all elderly will have dementia.
Right.
So we still introduce dementia. We will invite, which we have done last year, invite the Alzheimer's and Dementia Association of the Cayman Islands. They came there and also facilitated a training with the students. And this year we're hoping to do that as well. So they are introduced to dementia and how to take care of patients who have dementia as well.
Because that can be a tough assignment. Right?
It can be. Yeah.
And when you say that you go through the understanding the aging process.
Yes. So we talk about how one ages. So as you age, there are different things that happen in your body. So we talk about the changes that occurs from a normal, healthy adult to one that is aging. So the students will be better able to understand what is going on with our elderly.
Yeah. What are some of the things that you point out in your lecture about that?
The aging. So let me see. So I didn't do that topic, but from what I
Okay.
can remember, I can tell you is that some changes that occur. One of the main things we all know is the gray hairs start popping.
Yeah.
Right. That's a major change that occur. But we notice that most of our elderly do have problem with mobilization, and that's due to different issues with your, especially skeletal system, as well as other elements. So that's some of the areas we cover. Yeah. And there are others.
What areas do you
What do I cover? All right, so one of the ones that we start off with is that I do is the legal and ethical aspects.
What do you get into with that?
So we look at what is it that you, the nurse, needs to do to prevent you, or the caregiver needs to do to prevent you from being liable for any damages. So we try to educate them of confidentiality, also any legal aspects, such as they can be called upon in the court of law to give evidence if they do not follow their scope of practice. We tell them the difference between the scope of practice as a registered nurse, which I am, as opposed to a caregiver, as opposed to a certified nurse assistant. So they understand that they have to remain in their scope of practice.
And of course, infection prevention is a major thing,
So
right?
here we teach them how to wear the correct PPEs, which are personal protective equipment, such as your gloves, your gowns, your mask, also hand washing. Those are the things that fall under infection prevention and control.
So you basically, cover the whole spectrum of taking care of an elderly person.
Yes,
right?
we do. Mm-hmm.
Right down to personal hygiene and so
Yes,
forth.
we do. Yes, we do.
Well, how long has this course been going on?
So this is our second cohort. We started last year. We graduated 15 students. We started out with 17, and we have 2 students who will be completing their practicum hours. So they have finished the course, but they are outstanding with their practicum hours, which they will be doing this time around.
And where, I think you mentioned it before, but where do they go to do their practicum again?
So they attend the Health Services Authority. So they do the hours at medical and surgical unit, also general practice clinics.
Okay, so that's...
And also Jasmine and Department of Children and Family Services, so the West Bay facility. Mm-hmm. That's the areas we use.
So those are then, are they working mostly privately?
Sorry.
What you said, this is the second cohort?
The second cohort.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have people who are out there actually working in the community?
Who completed the course?
Yes,
the first? Yes. So some of them were already working in the area, but they were not trained. So we have a number of them that had work already, so they continued in their respective areas. And there are others who got employment after.
Okay. So what do people have to do to actually enter this class?
So they just need to sign up. In fact, there's a open house tomorrow that will speak some more to this course. So what they need to do is just go on www.ucci.edu.ky for more information. And then this open house, which we'll be having at 12 o'clock tomorrow, will provide added information as to the courses. In fact, persons who log on will receive a 10% discount, which is good if they just come in.
How much does the course normally
So for this course, the healthcare aid course, it is 1,000 Cayman dollars.
So you got 10% off of that if you sign up right after you go to these
within 24 hours. Yes.
Okay.
Within 24 hours of doing it. Now, there are other courses that the UCCI offers, other workforce readiness programs that is a little cheaper. It's a $650, but our program, as you can see, it requires a lot. It's longer than the average programs, and we also provide practical experience for them. So it's more costly.
So at these open house, because you're having 2 of them, Wednesday and Thursday?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the first session will be tomorrow, the 25th of February at 12 p.m. And this will be on workplace skills and digital growth. And then Thursday evening from at 6 p.m., which is Thursday, the 26th of February, the focus will be on AI, finance, and workforce development. And if you want to reserve your spot, there is, if you go on the UCCI website, you will see that. But there's also another site you can go on, which is connect.ucci.edu.ky. And there's a portal there that you can just go and click, and you're able to access and register for the session tomorrow and also for Thursday.
So now this is not a physical open house. I see it says
it's online.
It's online.
It's online. So what we are inviting you to do, take your lunch, sit somewhere in your car, elsewhere, and just log on and hear. And you may not be the one interested, but you may know someone who is interested. So we're inviting as much persons as possible to come and log into the program. And I'm selling tomorrow's because we will be on for tomorrow's program as well, the healthcare aid. But I'm inviting persons to log on to both. If you want to enhance your career, or you want to do any one of these courses, or see what fits your best interests, just log on to both sessions.
So on the virtual open house, I see in the notes here, the focus is workplace skills and digital growth. But are you giving a sort of lecture there, or what's that going to be like?
What they will be doing is having breakout sessions based on your interests.
Mm-hmm.
And you can participate in whatever area that fits you. So there will be a breakout session on elderly healthcare aid. There will also be sessions on mindfulness and meditation for stress reduction. There's also one on social media, content creation. There's courses on AI, and the list goes on. So if you go on the website, you will see the different courses. And tomorrow will feature the lecturers for these programs will be there to answer any questions that you may have.
Okay, so this virtual open house is not just for the nurses' aid?
No. It's a number of courses.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that is being offered under the readiness, under this program, the Readiness Workforce Program.
So
Workforce Readiness Program, sorry.
So when a person finishes this 15-week course, does that upgrade them in such a way that they can probably get better positions than they have now, get a better salary?
Well, I can't speak to the salary. But what they will get is a certificate saying that they are a trained healthcare aid, so elderly healthcare aid, and I'm sure that will allow them to get a better position or a better pay. Not sure what the pay is like across the landscape, but I am sure if you're certified, you must get something better than one that is not certified.
Yeah, because you have a certificate and that you're someone that is skilled now, right? So you must be able to market yourself better, right?
Well, we're hopeful. We're hopeful.
Must be.
We're hopeful. In fact, we cover communication aspect with them as well, so I'm sure that will help them sell themselves when they're applying for positions.
So give us a little bit more insight into the hands-on training that people receive.
All right, so the students during the program, they receive hands-on training. For example, most of the sessions will be a mixture of theory and hands-on. So they will learn how to feed a patient properly, how to reposition a patient in the bed, whether they're pulling the patient up in the bed, turning them, and turning patients, it's very important to prevent pressure ulcers, etc. They will also know how to correctly bathe a patient, how to correctly change a patient if they are wearing diapers, how to correctly toilet a patient, to walk them to the bathroom, etc. They will also learn how to watch out for signs of a change in a person's condition and when to report that change. They will also learn vital signs, which we covered earlier. And let me see if I'm leaving off anything else. They will also learn some of the common medical conditions that affect our elderly. And before that course, we'll touch basically on basic anatomy and physiology. So they are able to understand that a leg is a leg, that an eye is an eye. They will learn these basic things that are necessary for them to understand the medical conditions that the elderly face.
All right, we have to take a little break. If you have any questions that you'd like to have answered about this program, you can surely give us a call, 1-800-534-8255. That's courtesy of Flo. And also 949-8037, 949-6990, or WhatsApp 925-3261. We'll be right back.
Did you know that 1 in 4 persons in Cayman has been diagnosed with raised blood pressure, or that 14% of our population do not eat any fruits or vegetables, or that 70% of Cayman's adult population is overweight or obese? The STEPS 2023 National Health Survey gives us information on the prevalence of risk factors for non-communicable diseases, such as heart and lung disease in the Cayman Islands. Your health matters. Let's step into Wellness Cayman. Learn more by logging on to gov.ky/steps.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Celebrating 50 years of broadcasting in the Cayman Islands.
50 years of music.
This is Radio Cayman, 89.9 FM.
50 years of life. We are the rhythm of the city.
Radio Cayman. Radio Cayman's Talk Today.
What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. And in the studio with me is Nurse Justine Brown. She's a lecturer at the Ruth Eleanor McLaughlin School of Nursing at UCCI, and she's telling us about the Elderly Care Health Aid course at University College. And during the break there, you mentioned that some people misunderstand the course and think that you do this course and you're somehow a qualified nurse. That's not the case.
That's not the case. In order to become a registered nurse, you would have to come and do our 4-year program, which we do offer, and we have a successful program. So I'm inviting persons who want to be a full-fledged nurse, licensed nurse, I should say as well, that you come and do our 4-year program. Now, this program will only offer you a certificate to say that you are certified as a healthcare aide, right? So you are the person who assists the nurses and who will do basic tasks, in this case for the elderly, but you will not be a registered nurse or a licensed practical nurse, or here in the Cayman Islands we refer to them as registered nursing assistants. It's different. So these are longer programs, and yes, we do offer the 4-year program at UCCI.
With this certificate, this enables you to work in what kind of places besides private?
So homes, private homes, also homes for the elderly. Those are the places, because you're trained specifically in the care of the elderly.
So you wouldn't be working in a hospital as a nurse's aide or anything?
In some jurisdictions you can, depending on what it is. Here in the Cayman Islands, I'm not sure if they would employ you in them, but in most of the areas, especially on the medical unit at HSC, there are lots of elderly persons, so perhaps they will, but I'm sure they will be able to get gainful employment at residential homes or even private homes here.
Do a lot of people, underestimate the need for this kind of training when they are looking for someone to take care of their parents, or that they don't really understand the necessity of having this kind of training?
Yes, because persons believe that I can just get somebody off the street to take care of my elderly, but that's not the case. If you want your relative to receive safe, efficient care, it's best to have someone who is trained in the area. And remember, the training covers a vast amount of topics, so the person will be well-rounded to cater to the needs of your loved ones.
So this is someone who would actually be able to give advice to people who have elderly relatives that they want to take care of.
So we always say advice comes from the registered nurse.
Okay.
Yes, but I'm sure they can even offer some words of comfort or cheer. But in terms of advice, we have to be careful. Yes.
Have to support them properly and prevent falls.
So they are mostly support staff.
Yeah.
So they support the care of this of the seniors, or of the elderly, I should say. All right. But not necessarily giving any advice because they were not trained in those areas.
Do you have men who take this course?
Yes. So the last cohort, we had one gentleman who was successful and finished the program.
But I imagine that there is a need for men in this area.
I think a lot of men shy away from doing these things. I'm not sure why, but we invite men to come on board. The men will get employed. I'm sure about that. There are no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm sure they will be employed after.
Yeah, if you have a patient that you need to move and support, a man's strength is important in that kind of situation.
Yes, it is. But again, we teach our students the proper techniques of lifting and moving, and you're not supposed to be lifting certain amounts of weights. There are machines, there are techniques, there are tools, there are assistive tools that we can use to move our patients, to take the stress off your back and also off your arms. So again, this is starting the program.
But just getting back to, you said that males kind of shy away from this, but the nursing profession itself has become more open, or men have become more open to being nurses now also, right?
Yes. Even in our program right now, the fourth year students that we have, there's a gentleman in the program. The second year students, we have a male in the program. The first year students, we have a few males. I'm not sure of the amount right now. I believe it's 2 or 3 males. So at least in the Cayman Islands, they're buying into it. And we have graduated males before as well.
Okay.
Yes. That's from our 4-year program. Yeah. So
now, getting back to where people misunderstand the qualification here, but is this a first step? Could it be a first step toward nursing?
So it's a first step towards the field of nursing, or towards the field of elderly care. However, it will not take away any credits from the 4-year program. You will still have to come and start over from basic onto the last course that we offer in the 4-year program.
Now, are you getting, as far as we say, it's only your second cohort, but is it mostly Caymanians that are taking these courses?
So it's a mixture. So the last cohort was a mixture of Caymanians and also expats.
Okay. Now, let's go over again for people who are interested in this, how they should go about registering and so forth.
Okay. So even before that, I just want to call persons who are caregivers already, persons who are volunteers with the elderly, community members caring for the elderly, those who want to explore a career in the elderly, or family members of seniors, or those who even want a career change, that you're invited to participate in this program. It's 15 weeks, offered Mondays and Tuesdays from 5 to 7 p.m. Afterwards, you do a 3 weeks practicum at approved sites, and our approved sites are Health Services Authority, Jasmine, and also Department of Children and Family Services. The venue is right at UCCI and our nursing rooms, and the fee is $1,000 CI dollars. Now, tomorrow we'll have an open house where you can ask more questions. The facilitators of the course will be there, and there are other courses under the Workforce Readiness Center that will be also there to speak on the various courses that we do offer. So we're imploring you to go on to www.ucci.edu.ky, where you can sign up for this session tomorrow, and also to sign up for this elderly healthcare aid course.
What would you say to people considering this, that why is elderly care in Cayman so important right now?
So it's very important, Mr. Glidden, because the elderly population is growing, and it's growing rapidly more than our younger population. So in fact, in another few years, most of us, including myself, will be old, and we want someone who is trained to take care of us. So it's important that persons are trained so they're able to offer the efficient care when they themselves get older, and also when their relatives or loved one, or even the population and in general, gets older.
So has there been any kind of mishaps because people weren't trained that you know of in the community? Or?
So everywhere I've worked, the persons have been trained.
Yeah.
But I've heard of cases where the caregivers did not know what to do, and especially for emergency situation, where they did not know how to respond. And that made the situation worse. So whether the person was admitted or the person eventually died, but there are cases, if you're not trained, you're not going to know what to do. Or if you don't know what the normal vital signs are, you're not going to know when to report the abnormalities. So it's important for you to be trained so you're able to see and act fast.
Yeah. And what are those vital signs again that you would be trained in?
Yes, so your temperature, and temperature indicates fever. You have your blood pressure, which indicates any abnormalities with the heart. You have your pulse, which is the same thing. You have your respiration, which has to do with your respiratory system, your lungs, if you're breathing properly. They also learn SpO2, which is basically oxygen saturation, which should be normal, anything over 95 and up. So they learn if it's lower than that, then they need to report it, or the patient may need oxygen, and the list goes on. And they also learn how to do blood sugar.
Okay. So they learn not only how to take the measurements of these things, but to give it some kind of preliminary analysis to say, well, this is in a danger zone.
Yes.
I better call a doctor.
Exactly. Or I need to call 911. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So they do learn all of that. And in fact, at the end of the program, they have to sit a practical examination. So they're tested on all the skills that they have learned. And in order to graduate from the program, you have to pass this practical exam.
So it's just not something on paper. You have to actually...
No, so we do written. So it's not only about written, but you have to do the actions. And we have to know that you're competent in these skills before we graduate you from the program.
And when you're dealing with the elderly, I mean, depending on the person, but sometimes things can change rather rapidly.
Very rapidly. So again, this is what they learn, how to recognize the early signs, the subtle signs, and what do they need to do in order to prevent it from getting worse.
All right, so we're coming up on our last minute here, so let's make sure everybody knows how to make contact if they're interested.
So again, if you're interested, you can log on to www.ucci.edu.ky to sign up for this course or to learn more about the elderly care course. And in fact, if you want to know about other programs being offered, you can also log on to our website. Finally, you can join our open house coming up this week, tomorrow at 12 noon. and also Thursday at 6 p.m. where you can learn about the other courses that we offer.
And so you just go to the UCCI website to get onto this virtual.
To get onto it, yes.
And you can learn about a number of courses there at UCCI.
And remember, Mr. Glidden, that if you attend this program and register within 24 hours, you will receive a 10% discount. And I'm sure a person wants to save money.
Oh, everybody!
so they can do so. They can join and they will get that.
Yeah. Nurse Brown, thank you so much for coming on the program and telling us about this course at UCCI. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you too.
It's 1:00, so let's see what's in the headlines.
This is the People's Radio Station. Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
With your latest headlines, I'm Elizabeth Charles. Cayman Enterprise City is spotlighting how the islands are positioning as a blue tech center of excellence at the intersection of ocean data, autonomous systems, AI, and maritime infrastructure. The webinar looks at real-world blue tech projects in Cayman, autonomous ocean mapping in the Caribbean, and how companies can scale globally from Cayman's Special Economic Zone. You can hear more about this on this evening's 6 p.m. news broadcast. In international news, the U.S. stocks edged higher today as AI lab Anthropic rolled out 10 new business tools for its Claude AI. But Anthropic is also locked in a standoff with the Pentagon, which is threatening to label the company a, quote, supply chain risk, a tag usually reserved for firms from places like China and Russia over Anthropic's refusal to drop safety limits on military uses of its technology. In other international news, police are hunting prisoners who broke out of a Puerto Vallarta jail during a wave of cartel violence that followed the killing of drug boss El Mencho on Sunday. Mexican officials say 23 inmates escaped after armed men rammed a prison gate, while more than 70 people, including 25 National Guard members, died in the operation and unrest that followed. Those are the latest headlines. I'm Elizabeth Charles.
Radio Cayman. More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
At HSA, we strive to provide the highest standard of care with compassion, integrity, and dedication. And so we say thank you, Cayman, for continuing to make us the most awarded organization on island by voting us the best of Cayman Islands in 9 medical categories. Your support reminds us why we do what we do, to serve the Cayman community with kindness and excellence. To find out more about our award-winning services, visit hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Born in Watering Place, Cayman Brac, on the 8th day of July 1936, Captain Fred Elman Scott was the 5th child born to Nalio and Vera Scott. Captain Scott was a quiet-natured child who liked going on the bluff with his grandfather Oscar Brown. swimming every Saturday evening, and playing cricket down where Miss Alamay's house sits now. He was very studious at Creek Elementary School and did very well under the tutelage of his favourite teacher, Miss Isley Connolly MBE. Following the tragic death of his father at sea, at age 14 he left school to work with Arnold Foster to support his family. In 1953 he joined his first ship, the Beretta, a local cargo vessel, signing on as deck boy, working his way up to boatswain. From 1953 until 2006, some 52 years, Captain Scott made his living working off the seas.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Your Yesteryear Musical, Saturday evenings at 7 o'clock on Breeze Radio. Entertaining, enlightening, and inspirational. Topical with CI cultural and heritage flashbacks. And the wonderful music of yesteryear. From the Thomas Edison era to the recent past. Your Yesteryear Musical, Saturdays at 7 p.m. on Breeze Radio. 105.3 FM in Grand Cayman and 91.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Be listening. History is always echoing.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and let's take our usual look at the weather here. And it's 73 degrees outside. That's a cool afternoon in Georgetown. Yeah, 73. Winds out of the northeast at 14 knots. And the forecast simply says windy. A windy afternoon, a windy evening, and a windy night. Looks like we're expecting an overnight low of 69 degrees. So, you know, a nice cool night ahead of us also. And the forecast is for north and northeast winds at 15 to 20 knots with higher gust. And the seas are rough, running at 6 to 8 feet. A small craft alert is in effect. And looking at the radar, let's see here. Looks pretty clear out there. So a cool, windy, clear afternoon for the Cayman Islands, it's looking like. And I know a lot of people enjoy it. I've enjoyed it. And, you know, that's some winter weather. Speaking of winter, have you watched the Winter Olympics? Do people watch the Winter Olympics? Yeah, I'm sure they do. I haven't. Oh, I did. Yeah, I forget. I watched. Why I watched it, I don't know. I watched curling. Of all things. Is that the weirdest sport ever? Yeah, you know, like you got this big, I guess it's supposed to be like a stone, and you slide it down the ice, and then these two people brushing in front of it, and they are frantically brushing. I guess that must smooth the ice or something to get the stone to get to the target. But that is a most unusual sport, and some of them were very passionate about it. Though, they got upset, and just like any other sport, right? You do a lot of practice, and you want to win. I was watching some Canadians; they were, right there, right into it. That's curling, very sedate game, I guess you might say. Well, it's what, 100... Wait, I'm getting some breaking news here. What is that? Jamaica finished 21st overall in the bobsled. They're still in there. They're still in there. They're not going to give up until they get a medal. Cool runnings. But it's I guess now less than 100 days till the hurricane season. And they had to remind us of that by putting out the names for this year's hurricanes. I don't know. I don't even want to really think about hurricanes yet. It's not quite March, and all the things that we have to do when June rolls around and start preparing and make sure you got this, you got that, and whatever. But anyway, here's the names. Here's some names. We've got quite a few of them. The 2026 hurricane season names: Arthur, Bertha, Cristobal, Dolly. I knew Dolly in high school. Edward, Faye, Gonzalo, Hannah, Isaias, Josephine, Kyle, Leah, Marco, Nana, Omar, Paulette. Hey, Paulette, did you hear that? You got a hurricane named after you coming up if we get down to the P's. Renee, Sally, Teddy, Vicky, and Wilfred. They never go any further than W, is that? I don't think. Yeah, I guess if we got down into X, Y, and Z, that would be a super busy season, right? But those are the names, and, living where we do have to be aware of, hurricane season, but we got, about 100 days to go before we really must start to pay attention to what is going on. And that's something that, I was thinking about it the other day about shutters and all that kind of stuff. And I said, I can't deal with that right now. It's still February. Yeah. So I don't know if you were listening to the other part of the show about the elderly care course at UCCI, and we've heard the other side of that coin, so to speak, because sometimes the elderly go uncared for, which is a very sad situation. But for instance, we've heard people from the Family Resource Center. We've heard service clubs telling us of the people that they come across when they're in the community doing service, and the elderly, some of them living on their own, or you might say barely living on their own, and need help. And sometimes, family is not always, how should I put it, the kindest when it comes to the elderly. We've heard of some bad situations here in our very own little community right here in the Cayman Islands, where children abuse the elderly. Not only abuse, but if they have some kind of money, financial assistance coming in from the government or otherwise, that the children are taking that money for themselves and not really, using it for the welfare of their parents. And you have to really think how can that be happening? How can someone do that? Of course, we never know what situations people grow up under that turn them into that kind of person. But regardless, the situation is one that is a sad one, and to grow old and to be alone, or to have people there, but people that are not acting in your best interest, it's a heck of a situation to be in, as you start to decline in your latter years. And this course at UCCI, while that may not be something that is going to change the situation of, those people who face neglect in their latter years because their children are of a mind, however they got there, however they came to be like that, that they neglect their parents. It is always good to know that there are people who are actually trained to deal with the elderly. And for those who care about their elderly parents and want to make sure that they have good care, having people like that available in the community is, a godsend, really. Because if you were listening, you heard them saying that this is only their second cohort of trained caregivers. So, we don't have a lot of those qualified people in our community. And, oftentimes when people bring another person in to the home to care for the elderly, they are very good people who are understanding. They have had probably some experience and know how to deal with the elderly. But when it comes to, primary aid and monitoring a person's progress or vital signs, they're lacking in that. They'll take good care of the person. They'll make sure that they have good meals, that they're clean. They bathe them. They take care of them. They keep them company. And boy, does that go a long way. For people who are elderly, as Nurse Brown was just saying, sometimes they just want someone to talk to. Children may be at work, 'cause someone's got to bring in money, right? And, just for them to be able to leave their parents with someone who's going to take care of them and keep them company. So it's it is a type of profession that, yes, you got to take the vital signs and know how to move them out of a bed and into a chair, but often it is, keeping them just not company, but being a companion. And lots of times people get very, very close to the people who are their caregiver. There's that actual relationship there, right, for those who know how to deal with the elderly people. And, if God spares us our lives to live, we're all going to get there. And, this is a great thing that they are doing to provide this kind of training at UCCI. And the population is aging, and I mean, we've always had elderly people, of course, but as our population expands, there's more elderly people also. And there are even people here who I know they've lived here. They're not Caymanian, but they've lived in Cayman, and now their elderly parents are joining them here in Cayman. So to be able to have people here already that are trained, that's a good thing to have. And UCCI, I mean, we have them on here quite often. And the number of courses, if you ever have gone to the UCCI website, especially if you're someone who is, if you're young and looking for, college education locally, you can do quite well by attending UCCI. I know a young lady that she now has a master's degree. I can't remember exactly what her master's is in, but she did that all here in Cayman. And she's a great example of what you can do, because she worked full time. She worked full time 5 days a week, had a family, and she slowly chipped away at it, going to school at UCCI in the evening, taking evening classes, and it took her a while to do it, but she finally got that piece of paper, with a master's degree. And that's an example of perseverance and people going after something that they want. She had set a goal of attaining a master's, and she was not going to be deterred. She overcame obstacles, and going to school and gaining a degree, not just taking a course or something for a few weeks. This is going after the full thing and working full time during the day. You got to take your hat off to someone who does that, because going to college in and of itself is challenging. But to put in 8 hours a day and then go to a campus and put another few hours in for the evening and get yourself educated so that you can have a better position and be upwardly mobile in life as far as a career is concerned. That is something that you have to really admire in a person if they can achieve that. And the fact that we have a college of the standard of UCCI right here, that is something that we can all be thankful for, because not everybody has the opportunity to be able to go off. People's choices in life, their situation in life, everybody's different. And sometimes going to school locally is the best thing for, certain individuals to do. It just fits in with what is happening in their life. But they are still able to, educate themselves and be prepared to take better positions as Cayman continues to grow. And we see that being done, and we actually have to be proud of the fact that people can do that right here in the Cayman Islands. And that's why I often say, with everything that we complain about, there is so much for us to also be thankful for right here in the Cayman Islands. It wasn't very long ago that was not possible, and the education opportunities continue to get better here in Cayman, especially with UCCI. They're celebrating their 50th anniversary, and they have continued to improve as the years go on. They started out small and limited number of courses, but now it's a school that you can go to and really prepare yourself, especially prepare for the things that are actually that we actually have opportunities to work in the Cayman Islands. Let's go to the phone lines. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Shalom?
Yes.
Okay, I don't like calling you. I like texting you.
Okay.
But, you see, I said to you, I'm a family man. I recently went back to school.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe somebody's trying to call me. Jeez. And I recently applied to get a promotion.
Yeah.
And so I hear you saying that this person went to the fullness, get the master's, and has the employment.
Mm-hmm.
Me now, I'm a laborer. I want to get promoted. I went through the process, and I'm still in the same position. I work for the government.
Yeah.
I see positions where I can be promoted, but I'm not.
So you went to UCCI?
I won't tell you that. I did some stuff with Citizen Guilds.
Okay.
Through the government.
Right.
And I graduated last year.
Uh-huh.
What are we? 2020? November 2024. 2024. And up to this day, I haven't been promoted. So when you start to talk about people being promoted in different positions, I'm just one of those in the lower category that's saying to you, hey, I got upskilled, and I'm still in the same position. So I understand Cayman likes the big things, the big picture, and people doing big things. But there are little people doing little things that are not making it. Which one matters, Chow?
So the courses that you took were applicable to those positions that you were applying for to move up?
I'll tell you what, Charles. I applied for a position where I'm a practical person, I applied for soft skills. Where it was supposed to take me 18 months. It took me 3 years.
Because you're doing it while you were working?
Because I did it while I was working. Thank you.
Okay.
And I had good teachers.
Mm-hmm.
I had people that stuck with me and said, come on, Gord. I don't want to call my name. But, come on, you can do this. And I did it. And I'm ashamed to say it today. Have I been promoted? No. I did the time. I put it in. And I haven't been promoted, and it's not just me, Chalo. So we got to be careful with this upskilling and doing the thing and not getting the thing. Because I still in the same place I was 5 years ago.
Did you did you seek out why you didn't get? What were you told?
But Charlie, that's a good question. You stumped me there. Because you know what, Charlo? We did the time,
Uh-huh.
You asked us to go and upskill, We went, upskilled, went to the job, applied, and they were saying no vacancy. Yet, when I went to go and apply, I see 2 man on permit and 1 came on youth, and we all competing. Who got the job, Charlo?
Tell me.
I don't know. It's the truth. And moreover, the truth is, I still stuck. I still stuck where I was 5 years ago, and you chatting about upskilling.
Well, if you don't upskill yourself, I mean, you're cutting yourself off from the opportunity.
But you're not giving me the opportunity. Hold on, who's cutting who off now? You're not. Sorry, not Charlo. Not Charlo. I'm not talking to you now.
I realize.
I'm saying, come on, guys. I don't know me, I can't be up in a pigsty and thing, cleaning up and trying to set up down there by the and chopping up this, cleaning up that, and I can't get no upskill in the last 5 years. 5?
But the skills that you gained, I mean, is there other opportunities outside of where you currently work that you could move to that?
You're not being honest, sir.
Well, I'm just looking into your situation.
To me, you just got you saying that if you got the masters, you can get the position. And you see, some of us not masters, Charlo, some of us not masters.
Well, yeah,
some of
definitely.
Us do the job that needs to be done.
But there are positions that would call for a master's degree. It's not every position, but there are those that do.
True. And this one person you mentioned is the only master we probably have for the year. But you're going to have more of me. So. Okay. You're going to have 10 masters for the year. And you're going to have 10 people that are like me, went to school. I went through high school, college, as a painter, and today, still a laborer, hasn't got a job as a lead painter. Over 20 years. I went to UCCI in 1994. 1994, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And I am still a laborer. After upskilling, after doing the things that I have to do, you tell me why I'm not doing right.
Well, I mean, it's hard for me to just assess that over the air here over the phone.
Chalo, okay. So if I got a master's, it would matter, right?
Listen,
Not fair. Not
hold on.
fair.
Listen, I have to take a break. Do you want to hold on?
I can hold on.
Okay, we'll be right back with you after the break.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your sister islands.
Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter will be taking appointments from March 9 to 13 at his Crew Road Clinic. Appointment slots are limited. Whether you're seeking advanced skincare, Botox, filler, cosmetic enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email dr.porterkman@gmail.com or call 946-9020 to book your appointment today. That is 946-9020.
Did you know that 1 in 4 persons in Cayman has been diagnosed with raised blood pressure, or that 14% of our population do not eat any fruits or vegetables, or that 70% of Cayman's adult population is overweight or obese? The STEPS 2023 National Health Survey gives us information on the prevalence of risk factors for non-communicable diseases, such as heart and lung disease in the Cayman Islands. Your health matters. Let's step into Wellness Cayman. Learn more by logging on to gov.ky/STEPS.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and we have a caller on the line. Are you still there with? Hello?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
You go first. Thank you.
Okay. So, from what you were saying, you've been working as a painter.
From 1994, sir, I got out of high school, straight into college.
Mm-hmm. So you went to college. You went to UCCI.
Yes, sir.
And what did you study out there?
Building science and construction. I moved on, and I basically painted all of my life. Interior, exterior, anything you need me to paint, I can paint.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's an area that you want to stay in.
I specialize because that's what I am best at.
Okay. So, I'm trying
Come on, Charlo, come on.
I'm trying to understand.
Me too.
So, what did you say you took at UCCI that would have helped you in your painting job?
Oh, good God. Sir, okay, this is 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe 30 years ago. So understanding the concept of painting a place, square footage, how do you measure this? How do you paint it?
Okay, so how much paint you will need to do this?
Sir, we well prepared. Caymanians went to UCCI. There's a lot of Caymanians that came in of UCCI. They're good painters. How hard is this job? My point is to you, sir. I've been doing this for 30 years. I am still a laborer.
So you've never been able to move up to supervisor or something like that? That's what you want to do?
With the government.
Uh-huh.
I worked 5 years of my life, and I still haven't had a promotion working with the government. This is my time to talk, sir. After getting qualified, I said to you, I went back to school, have a family. I appreciate I can get like $5,000 a month. You want to know how much I'm making a month?
Well, if you want to tell us.
No. But it's less than 3,000, sir. I'm a Caymanian working for less than 3,000. A Caymanian artist out there busting working for us, and I still have to be under the bomber clot bus.
Okay, no, I understand your frustration, but tell me something. Have you ever gone to the people who decide whether is the call gone? Okay, I think we got. Apparently, he has been trying to get this promotion, but has not been able to. I mean, I would have thought you would have either gone and talked about this to someone, or if you're not progressing, you said 5 years and you're not progressing, well, perhaps you want to take a different direction, because if whatever is going on in the department that you are working in, well, if someone is blocking you, whether there are other avenues that you can take. Let's take a look at this WhatsApp message here. Charles, there are many things that contribute to upward mobility in a job. The fact that the man did a certification did not automatically put him in line for promotion. What about attitude and punctuality, willingness to go the extra mile when necessary? So, we've got the caller back?
Okay, Charlo?
Yeah.
I was asked to apologize, and I will, because this kind of conversation does arouse emotion. You can't expect me to be quiet at the end of the day making less than $3,000, and I have to take home to my family and be like, oh, let's call Charlo and be all nice.
I hear your frustration. I understand. But tell me, but did you ever go to your supervisor and say, what is it that is keeping me from advancing in this department? I've tried, I've done this, I've gotten certification, I've taken courses, I do my best. What is keeping me from advancing here?
That's a good one, because leaving school, leaving the college, you have to work in the workplace. Mm-hmm. We worked in the workplace, we did government, we did private sector, government, private sector, government, private sector. A lot of the work was like that, Charlo. You took the work you had. So when I got qualified and I was able to do this stuff that I'm doing, I went private, public, private, public. And in no instance was I promoted. I was either a laborer or a painter. With the government, I am not a painter. I am simply just a laborer. I cannot, the government put me through school.
What kind of courses were that? What kind of courses did the government put you through?
I'm telling you all this on air right now.
Okay.
I mean, I got a business and administration degree with the government. And I still can't, I can't motivate myself. You're making me feel
But I'm not following something. You got a business administration?
Administration, yes. I got a diploma in business administration. It took me 3 years to actually attain it when it was supposed to be 18 months. Yes,
so,
that's what I'm saying.
But did you pursue something that degree, that certificate would be applicable to?
Of course. If you're doing a business administration, you can be a legit painter. You can deal with companies. You can prepare and house places painted. Of course, that matches your painter's certification. If you have one, you are a business administrator, but you concentrate in painting.
So
that's what I do.
You were running your own painting business?
Well, I kind of have to, too. When I get off of work, there's places to paint.
Yeah. So I was trying to match up. I was trying to match up the business administration and the painting.
Yes, sir. That works together because, I can run a painting business because I'm a business administrator. I can run a kitchen. I can run a talk show. Why does it stop me from being a painter? I got qualified. I have a certification. What I'm trying to say to you, Charlo, is how come I can't move up? You trying to say to me I shouldn't move up?
No, I'm not saying that you shouldn't move up, but no.
Come on now, Charlo.
No.
After 20 years? What came on? You got to look forward to? If you can answer me, okay. The girl, I apologize, Barnaby. They said a word, but I apologize. But brethren, it's not just me.
You see, when you say that you have qualified yourself, right? I'm not sure exactly what you're saying that in the job that you do, right? And becoming having a administrative degree or certificate, business administration. Were you looking then to try and become a supervisor type of person in the painting department? Hello? Okay. He's left us, but I was having trouble connecting some of the things that. Is he back? All right, time for a break. We'll be right back.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Hey, new drivers, don't just drive smart. Cynical and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cynical motor insurance. Learn more and register at cynical.ky. Cynical, keeping Cayman covered.
When life feels busy, it's time to slow down and tune in. Breeze 105.3 FM gives you the timeless hits, smooth favorites, and the music that feels like home. Switch now and ride the breeze.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. Let's go straight to the phone lines. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Afternoon, Charlo. How you doing, man?
All right. How are you?
Pretty good. Thank you. Thank you very much. I caught the exchange with the gentleman there, and I was getting frustrated listening to you all. From the standpoint of, I believe I heard the gentleman, and I heard you, and I suppose if I can try to make sense of what I heard as a listener, because I believe, and I can't speak for the gentleman, and forgive me if I'm not taking what you're saying right, sir, whoever you are, but I heard him call in more on a broader context in relation to Caymanian and Cayman's mobility and our advancement within the workforce on a much bigger scale. And he may have started to use himself to drill down to make that point. And unfortunately, I think there was a bit of frustration because you were going into the granular in regards to him, and I don't think that's where he wanted to go. I think he wanted to make a much bigger point, using himself as a demonstration, Charlo.
Well, I don't know. I mean, he kept saying, well, "Why am I not being promoted?" So,
but yeah, I think that was more a rhetorical question, though, Charlo. I don't know if he was necessarily looking for you to solve his issue on the radio today. If you get what I'm saying, that's what I was hearing. So, I think he has some valid points, if you ask me. The gentleman talked about it, and for me, it wouldn't be so important as to know exactly what he did in school, because I mean, he was trying to make the point, even if it wasn't correct even if it wasn't correct that he got a business degree, but even if it was, and let's say he was, I don't know, and that's what he was calling it. He was making the bigger point that you can have a degree in whatever, and it still doesn't mean you can't do something else. It's just that you are advancing yourself on some level. And that's been Caymanian's challenge in so many ways, Charlo, and I've mentioned that in as many words in different ways, and talking about focusing on this piece of paper versus understanding how in many places, including mother country UK, I wish our civil service would grasp that, because they are the example setters. This world-class civil service thrust is an excellent thing, but it doesn't mean that you can't develop yourself in such a way that you can do the job. Many of our senior civil servants years ago ran so many departments without that sort of formal structural education. They may have done courses, as this man was alluding to, and advanced themselves and got the skills that they needed to be able to run many departments in government and carry this country a long way. You know,
and there's also a movement. There's also a movement that the paper that is becoming less and less important these days.
That's right, very much so, Charlo.
Because we talk about people are going back to apprenticeships and such.
Right, and I don't want, and that is a good thing, I suppose, if we give it a word. But then we don't want people to be stuck in that too. I'm gonna tell you, and just flashed into my mind. I heard the Chamber of Commerce. It was an advert day before yesterday or something. I heard they were offering courses in time management, and it was like this rather very rudimentary kind of elementary sort of things, and maybe them being very intimately connected to all these businesses, that's sort of the soft skills that the businesses are telling them that Caymanians need. I highly doubt it. I just think it's just offered, and this is my view. I have no evidence to support that, but I see through some of these things sometimes. It's kind of like, we're going to offer this course, it's going to be on time management and some other sort of, as if Caymanians don't understand that concept. Okay, yeah, we'll have the few who do, but that's not representative of the Caymanian and the hardworking Caymanians in this country who care to advance and move on and broaden their horizon and expect those opportunities to come about. The best thing I can say, I can't speak to this man anymore, and I didn't intend to call, but it was a little. I heard him. I heard something deep in what he was saying, and
I heard his frustration for sure.
Yeah, man. What I'll say to you, sir, is this. Yeah, follow that idea about perhaps starting your own business. You obviously have some amazing skills that you have acquired over the years, some deep experience. There are companies here, and don't ever downplay painting. None of the buildings in Cayman would look any good. I don't think you need me to tell you that, but just to remind the listening public, because that there are painters in this country, painting companies that make tens of thousands of dollars on every major.
You better believe it. If you bring in a professional painter to paint your house,
that's just your house. Imagine these buildings.
It's a good piece of change. Just if you bring a guy in to paint your house, that's a good piece of change.
It's a career. You have to be very good, and nowadays you can use technology to enhance those things. So, but the point that I'm trying to make to him is, sir, focus on perhaps bringing that skill together and challenge some of these companies that ready-made Caymanians have put together, and they're an average job site and major job site. Sorry the foul is near me here, but, sir, focus on there. Thank you for sharing a little bit of that frustration on Caymanians are being called to go to school all the days of their lives, and they're in one particular place, never mind acknowledging the reality that you can do the job. And yes, that person was trying to drill down, that sent you that text to talk about showing up on time and all those kind of things, as if that gentleman wasn't doing those things. I don't say that they were, and they're probably making a broader point as well. But, those are the sort of things that we're focusing on, versus understanding the frustrations that Caymanians are having in this country. Thanks, Charles. Thanks, man.
All right, thanks for the call.
Appreciate it.
And just going back to that that WhatsApp that I read, I think the point that person was making, just because you have the paper, doesn't mean that all doors are now open and you can just pick, choose, and refuse what you want to do. It's not an automatic thing. You have to have something about yourself that the employer wants.
Agreed, Charlo. But and the only thing I was saying to that, and I understood that was the point that they were making, is that so many times we're just so quick to fling that out. Like right away they were, as if. Anyway, it's those sort of really, those things that really irk me, Charlo, as a Caymanian, and listening to my Caymanians. And I sometimes have to scratch my head wondering, don't our leaders hear and see these things? Because there are so many gaps that could be filled. And it doesn't take a lot. It takes some real willpower from leaders to make it happen in this country. We just made so many things slide, and Caymanians are being undermined in so many ways. But, sir, start that company, man. It's $75 for a trading business license as a Caymanian. Start small. Do your thing. I wish you well. All right, man.
All right, take care.
Thanks.
We have a caller on the WhatsApp. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today. Hello? Hello, are you there? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, you might need to turn your radio down. We were getting a little feedback there.
Hello?
Yeah, you're on the air.
Yep, I'm sorry. I didn't hear any clicking in on your, but I didn't have on the radio either. But anyhow.
Oh, okay.
How are you doing today, sir?
I'm fine. How about you?
Well, I just tuned in a little while ago and I hear the frustration of the young man, and I'm wondering what kind of painting that you're talking about. Painting house or special painting?
He just said he was a painter, so I'm thinking he paints buildings.
Oh, okay, because
he just said that he was a painter.
I'm talking as a Caymanian who done a lot of painting in condos down at South Sound area and stuff every year or every 2 years that we would paint them. And Caymanians are very good painters. I know a lot of very good, excellent painters in Cayman, but the gentleman that just got through talking, he asked the question, I think, if I'm not wrong, asked you what kind of, what qualifications that he have, or if he's short or something. So I want to answer the young man the question, that what he is short of, when he's not being hired, he got the wrong nationality. Because he's a Caymanian. That's why he not get the job. If he had went, I have a very close friend of mine that is a builder, very qualified, and he works on his own. And he told me he was going to apply for this job. And I told him, I said, well, all you do, I can guarantee you to get the job. Just make sure that you tell them that you need a work permit and you'll get a job. And he's a Caymanian, born and raised in Georgetown Hospital and raised in Georgetown. And he went and he told them, called the company and told them that he's a do building and stuff like that. And he said, but the only thing I would need is a work permit. And they told him, okay, no problem. They would submit him, bring in his papers in. And he laughed, and he didn't go anywhere. He just did it to see. So the young man, that is, I know he's very upset and he's frustrated and he's a Caymanian. But young man, if you're listening, next time you're going to apply for a job, just make sure you tell them that you're a foreigner and you will get the job.
And what happens when they find out he doesn't need a work permit?
Well, that will tell it. He can figure it out from there. But the part with that, Mr. Glidden, and you notice too, Caymanians are less in their own country. Caymanians got good builders, excellent carpenters, excellent painters.
Of course, we sail the world on ships, Well, listen, I'm into news time.
Sure.
George, thank you so much.
No problem.
Thanks for the call. It's 2:00. Let's go to the newsroom.
If they are talking about us,
living in your head rent-free all this time,
we must be relevant. Radio Cayman since 1976. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market.
With your latest headlines, I'm Elizabeth Charles. The 15th regular CARICOM meeting is now underway in St. Kitts and Nevis, with Premier the Honourable Andre Ebanks among leaders at the table. Over the next 4 days, they will tackle the CARICOM single market and economy, Haiti, regional transportation, and efforts to cut the region's billion-dollar food import bill, while also trying to mend recent shifts within the bloc. We'll have more from the summit in our 6 p.m. news broadcast. In international news, the BBC is apologizing after a racial slur shouted by a guest with Tourette's syndrome was broadcast during the BAFTA Film Awards on BBC One. In a statement, the corporation said the offensive word came from involuntary tics and, quote, was not intentional, and promised to remove it from iPlayer. In other news, the family of missing 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie is now offering a $1 million reward for information that brings her home on day 24 of the search. Her daughter, NBC News anchor Savannah Guthrie, says they are aching for her mother, who investigators believe was taken from her home against her will. Those are the latest headlines. I'm Elizabeth Charles.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and a quick look at the weather. It's 73 degrees with the wind coming out of the northeast at 15 knots, and the forecast is windy all through tonight. Overnight low expected to be 69 degrees, and winds out of the north and northeast at 15 to 20 knots with higher gusts. Seas are rough, running at 6 to 8 feet. Small craft alert is in effect, so boaters, please note that. And the radar is looking clear. It's cool and clear and Same thing for the sister islands. No rain on the radar over across there for Little Cayman and Cayman Brac. Well, we're coming down to the home stretch here. If you want to get your calls in, here's the time to do it. And quite an interesting turn we took about employment in Cayman and qualifying yourself. I gave an example of a lady who qualified herself and got a good job. And the caller saying, I qualified myself and have not been promoted. Situations, and I was trying to find out whether that caller had gone and tried to see what the problem was, that here he is qualifying himself and trying to do his best, but not being able to move upward in his job. And is it because he's not a foreigner? Is it because he's Caymanian? Is it simply that? I mean, so is the young lady that I talked about. She's Caymanian, but yet she was able to, educate herself and reap the rewards of it with being able to get a better job because of her qualifications. And she worked with government also. The caller was saying he worked with government and was stuck as a laborer, even though he had gotten some qualifications. I think he said he took some courses from City and Guilds, which is a place where you can get vocational training, even apprenticeships, and they're well known. And you would think getting training from City and Guilds, would enhance your possibilities of moving upwards in even a trade, because that organization is known for its vocational education. I'm just looking at it right here, and it says training across 28 industries to drive skills for employment. I mean, that's why people go there for vocational training and all the apprenticeships and accreditation that City and Guilds offers. If you got that in your back pocket and you're looking for a promotion, you would certainly think that would help you. Now, we don't know exactly what the environment is like in the place where this caller is working. Is it a personal thing? Because that happens in workplaces. I've known people who were just as qualified as anybody inside a department, but something was happening there where they were blocked. Maybe they had something with a supervisor up the line, and it was more on a personal level as opposed to a professional level. And it happens. It happens. And I can think of one situation that was like that, where the person says, I'm not going anywhere. Every time I try to make a move here, I'm prevented from doing so. Well, they sought a different pathway because nothing good was happening for them where they were, so they went elsewhere to take a different pathway and were successful in being able to make progress as far as moving upwards. And sometimes you have to do that. I mean, in life we run into all kind of obstacles, and if it's on a personal level, if you have to sometimes make an end run around and go another way. But if a person is deserving of that promotion, and we heard the frustration there in that caller, it's frustrating when you, as in your mind, you are doing what you have to do to make that move upwards, what you've been told that you should be doing to make that move upwards, but yet nothing happens. And not that I'm saying that in this case particularly that we have just heard, but sometimes in the working world, you have the qualification, but maybe it's something that you're doing that is preventing you. The way you approach things, the attitude that you have. And, I've been around the block a couple of times, so I've seen people that had qualification, but they always seem to rub people the wrong way. And that prevented them from making the kind of progress that they thought that they should be making. And if you have the wrong kind of attitude, you could have all the papers in the world, and very often, that attitude is what's holding you up. And as the person that watched up saying, the piece of paper doesn't mean that you're automatically going to fall in line for a promotion. The people above you have to think that you are the kind of person who they want to put in charge of, a crew. They have to think that you have that innate leadership skills. You may have learnt the theory of supervising, but can you actually lead that crew? Are you going to get the respect from the crew members that is required of a supervisor? Let's go to the phone lines.
Okay,
Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Okay, Charles. Final call.
Final call? Okay.
Yeah. Because it's a tricky one. You're trying to say that maybe I don't have the personality. Maybe I don't have the.
But did you hear what I said? I didn't say that it was you.
Well,
I was talking
I
about different. I was talking about different situations in which people find themselves that they're not progressing. Okay, and I just gave
all right,
an example.
Here is how this works. We never have it right. We didn't ever get it right. So every time you see somebody on a permit, wow, they got it right. To Mrs. Shillette's point, how they always got it right. Somehow I came from where I came from, and I don't get it right. And somehow every time I apply for the job, I came from the wrong place. Who did that to me? Society did that to me. You are doing that to me. I upskilled. Help me up now. Help me up now. Silence.
You went and you
That's
upskill. You went and upskilled yourself, right?
Yes. Yes.
Is that the only thing that an employer is going to look at when they would consider hiring you?
You see, Charlo? That's a bad call.
So
that's a bad call because you supposed to be helping. I answering you, Charlo. You supposed to be helping Cayman.
No, you're telling me of something. You're telling me. Hold on a second. You're telling me that just because you got something that says, yes, you have passed this course, that automatically says that you must be hired?
Charlo, you setting Cayman.
I'm asking you a question.
I answering you.
But you
so
see,
when
you see,
go get it now.
You see,
when you go get it, went and get it. Many youths right now going and getting it.
Yeah.
Right now, going and getting it. And you gonna wind up saying to them what you saying to me? Oh well, you don't have the right personality. Oh well, you have this, but you need to get more. On and not helping us. You get it?
I also see some youths that are out there getting it, and they go and get a good job.
You're not helping us. Am I calm enough? Am I nice enough?
I don't know if you're calm enough. Did he go? Well, there you see. Yeah. I have been in situations where I'm on a panel hiring, doing an interview. And, the person checks all the boxes, right? They got the degree. They got some experience. And they got Cayman status. They're Caymanian. What I'm thinking of now is, a person who had Caymanian heritage. They'd gone to school in the States. And they were Caymanian as far as any kind of immigration status is concerned. When we talked to that person for probably a half hour during an interview, when they left, they said, we all said, well, and the other person on the panel there says to me, well, Charles, she would be working with you. What do you think? I said, well, she got checked all the boxes, but I don't know if I can do that 5 days a week. The person who asked me that said, I was just having trouble with the half hour we just spent with her. Just because you're qualified doesn't mean that someone is going to work with you. No, I don't know if that's the case, and I'm not saying it is the case with the caller. But there is a variety of things that goes in to hiring a person. The qualification is just, the first thing that you're looking for. Do they have the knowledge of how to do the job? But then there's a lot of other things that someone's going to take into consideration, before they decide that they're going to invest in you by paying you and taking you in to their team. Are you going to fit into the team? Or are you going to disrupt the team? There's a number of things that goes in just as the WhatsApp message says, I have to take a break for I'm out of time here. Be right back.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Freedom, Cayman Brack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Hey, this is Lord Graham, as I'm known on Radio Cayman. My first early members of Radio Cayman was when they first started. We had a cousin of mine, Lomax Rankin, who was one of the first people to work for Radio Cayman. And whenever we were having a get-together or some sort of little party, especially on weekends, and then he would play Music Express, the music that we love or the music that we could dance to. So I want to say happy 50th anniversary to Radio Cayman, the best in the land.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and we got about 9 minutes to go. I've got a couple of callers, so let's see if we can get to them right away. Good afternoon. We got a WhatsApp caller.
Good afternoon, Chalo. I'm calling in regards to that gentleman who was just speaking.
Mm-hmm.
And I really feel for him because I too have gone through the same thing. Being a Caymanian, it's hard out there. Now, you go back to school and you get your degree, that's what they're telling you. And you're there with them, you're performing well, and you expect that you would get a promotion in some time or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen all the time. And that is some of the cases that is happening to Caymanians right now. If you're not a person, say the manager, and if you're not showing with her or you're not part of the group, but you just stay and you do your work, you do it to the best of your ability, you perform well, you're not in that. You're not going to get promoted because you're not part of that shushu business, people business and news carrying and whatnot. You're just there to do your work, and that you do your work and you perform and you get a good performance. But in terms of getting upgraded or a promotion, it's not there. So what most Caymanians do, they leave and they try and go and get a better job where they're accepted for how they perform.
Okay.
Are you understanding me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
So I see where the guy was going. I feel for him. It has happened. It has happened to many Caymanians. But sometimes because you're in the job in that company so long, you don't want to be skipping. You don't want you think your plan is, okay, I retool. I want to get promoted and stay there.
Mm-hmm.
But these overseas managers or foreign managers, they don't understand. And sometimes it's your own Caymanian managers that keep you down. Keep you down. So
and you're saying that that's simply because you are Caymanian?
I really don't want to say that, but now that I'm not there now, it is. It is. It is. It is.
But you moved on and found a place that you had a good environment to work in.
Of course, I moved on. I'm sure you know who you're talking to. I moved on. I did 2 years at City. I got a bigger salary. I got a promotion. And the only reason why I went into retirement early is because City moved on to New York. Otherwise, I would have still been there.
Well, at least
But
you're an example of you found a place where you were comfortable.
That's right. And I'll tell you what. I'll tell you something else. There was four of us employees that left one time.
Oh, so it must have been a very toxic kind of
Oh,
environment.
it was. It was, and it's still happening. It is happening to the younger children that are coming out of school, and that is why they're moving up and down so much.
Yeah, I'm sure it happens. You know, I'm not doubting that it happens at all.
Yeah. So, and I'll tell you, if I had to relive my life again, there's a certain area that I would not have gone into, and it's the banks. The banks, the children are. It's just they get a few training, and then they just put in there, and then they're left on their own. And they either sink or they get ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you do see a lot of rotation and staff in some of the banks. I mean, you know, you see people, and as soon as you get to know them, they're gone.
Exactly, yeah. and you just can't come out of school and then think that you're a banker. You can't. You must get inside training.
Yeah,
and
you got to pay your dues.
I don't think they get enough.
Yeah. Well, listen, thank you so much for the call. I got to try and get someone else in here. But
yes, thanks.
But
thank you for listening too.
All right, you take care.
Okay then, good. Bye-bye. Bye.
Let's take another call here.
Hello?
Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Hello.
Yes, you're on the air. Good afternoon. Hello. Are you hearing me? Hello.
Yes. Hello.
Yes.
Are you there?
Yes. Go ahead. We hear you.
Okay. Good. In regards to the gentleman, I'm trying to see and understand where he was coming from, and I felt a lot of his pain, and he is speaking a lot of truth. And you know, the thing with Kim and Mr. Charles, we have had good managers, team or banks as Caymanians. They went in as cashiers, or went in as you know, like doing the mail and filing and so forth, and they moved themselves up to managers in various banks and various high positions throughout this island. Lots of Caymanians many years ago. And it's like that can't happen no more. It's like it has to be given to someone who steps off of the plane onto our island, because our Caymanians now is not being further concerned. They're not respecting them, because they bring in Tom Jones. Tom Jones got a little bit more education, or got a little bit more what do you call it, things under his belt, you know,
a few degrees,
certificates, degrees, and all that kind of stuff. And that's why we keep defeating our own Caymanians in this island, because then Tom Jones come here with all these degrees and so forth, and we rather choose him over our own Caymanian, because then, like I said, years ago, the Caymanians is who ran the businesses in this island and became managers in some of them places and owners.
Yeah, I can think of three Caymanians that moved up to managers of local banks.
Yeah,
and I don't know what happened.
I can think of two right now. I'm thinking of two right now, but I would not call their names. But this is really being lost in our own country, because we got people coming in here, and I can bring you Jack, I can bring you Harry, I can bring you Mary. They're upscale, and they got 20 years experience and blah blah blah. When will our children ever get experience if we got to keep looking over them to bring in this highfalutin, experienced individual, and they end up getting all the benefits, and the Caymanians so sitting under the great tree? Who's going to change all of this? Only God knows. But it needs to change for the better, not for the worse, because in our Caymanian people don't have anywhere to go, and they should not be treated. As much government that we have had, and as much governments we have changed, we still just can't seem to bring our own Caymanians to the bowl and let them be the first to drink the milk and put the honey on the bread and eat it and say, I am home, I made it without going through what the man came off the plane with his 10-5 certificates in his hand. When are our children going to be able to stand up and say, I did it? I got there. We got kids coming out of school every year, over 1,000 kids a year with all the high schools in this island. Show me how many are working in the working force, and tell me how many are gone overseas, and how many of them will come back and be able to get a job and to make the money to buy a home or a piece of property. We are being underestimated. We got just as much ambition as anyone that step off of that plane, and it needs to be stopped. Who's going to stop it? I don't know. I hope that Michael Myers can do something with this immigration and whatever opposition he got to help the Caymanians, and who's in the government with him that's going to back him up. They need to get serious. They need to go on the pot or get off the pot.
And on that point, thank you for wrapping it up. You get the last word this afternoon. It's 2:30. I'm told that the phone lines are all lit up, but we're out of time here. I'm Charles Glidden. One love.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.